tomorrow, all eyes on Miami. 5 candidates will be taking the debate stage for the 3rd GOP primary debate. Former President Trump, as I mentioned, won't be there. Is Nikki Haley the one to watch? She's picked up the most momentum. What will you be watching for and looking for?
I'll definitely be watching to see how she responds and how, with kind of her somewhat newfound status as potentially the strongest challenger to Donald Trump, who, of course, will not be on the stage. However, Governor DeSantis just picked up a big endorsement in Iowa with Governor Reynolds. And so it'll be interesting to see if that gives him a bit of a boost and see if the two of them have any kind of interchange as they kind of vie to be the last person standing to challenge the former president. And then candidates who are a little bit further down in the polls right now, like a Tim Scott, who is extremely skilled as an orator. This is really an opportunity to put him on the national stage and see if he can break through some of the clutter where he's had a challenge. So a lot to watch, but I do think probably the biggest story there will be how Ambassador Haley and Governor DeSantis interact on the debate stage.
Yeah, she definitely has a target on her back. She's shown up in quite a few Trump ads lately. Speaking of the former president, he has the edge over President Biden in some key battleground states, according to recent polls. What do you make of that? And maybe even more importantly, is some of the demographics of his support?
Look, I mean, I think we've always known that President Trump has a very, very loyal following. In 2020, he nearly defeated President Biden. So we've always known this was going to be a close race. I think there's some Democrats who deluded themselves into thinking that if Trump were the Republican nominee, that this would be a cakewalk. It certainly will not be. Right now, with inflation still too high, with the economy kind of sputtering, people very concerned about, their way of life. This right now kind of is a referendum, if you will, on the incumbent president, in this case, Joe Biden. And so it's not terribly surprising to me that Joe Biden is struggling in the polls right now. I expect things to tighten dramatically if things carry on their current trajectory, where we'll have a rematch of 2020, expected to be a very, very close race and a late night on election night a year from now.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.